detik dulu, 5 kah? 3, 4, 5. Up. Halo guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rosa. Jadi di sini kita tidak akan bermain game horror lagi karena bosan ya guys. Ini kita main game santuy Genshin, ngerjain story questnya Navia. Ya begitu guys. Wait, aku sambil ngeliat live chat dulu. Yo, welcome yang baru datang. Welcome. Game ngantuk. Gak boleh gitu. Tapi aku udah ngantuk. Halo Amal. Welcome Amal, welcome. Tadi kayaknya aku habis dari patung kok nggak itu ya? Kok nggak nge-heal? Lah kocak. Bentar aku nge-heal dulu ya guys. Menghada-hada. Game chilling, game santuy. Mal, enak nih sambil makan mal. Karena nggak ada horor-horornya. Halo Ma, absen dulu. Ada Sid, ada Amalia Putri Apsari, ada Rara, ada Riri, ada Ruru, ada Arlecino, ada Nahida, ada Yaemiko. Anjay. Halo, welcome yang baru join. Halo.
If it isn't my dear partners.
Suara aku denger nggak? Jelas nggak sih? Aku belum ngecek. Harusnya sih pas ya. Oke. Ini kita mengerjakan Navia. BTW, FYI aja.
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today.
Kayak aku.
Are you headed somewhere?
Biasa, kegiatan petualang sehari-hari.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
Suara denger gak ya? Kita mengerjakan Navia. Oh, udah aman. Oke.
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of.
Cantik ya, guys.
Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster.
Aman soalnya. Oke, sip.
Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson.
Kenapa malah kamu yang kasih kompensasi?
Though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Sminati Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Oh, spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That must be taking up most of your time though, right?
You bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another. So before I came over this time, I took a page from Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't checked off.
Ini kok dipindah ke atas saja nggak sih biar nggak begitu mengganggu tulisan. Nah, gini aja ya, di atas saja ya. Okay,
and then, since Melus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
Let Paimon see.
Welcome yang baru datang.
Wait, there's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one, is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Simbol. Mungkin lebih baik langsung tulis dengan jelas.
Thank you for your advice. These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself. I thought that as long as I understood my
Perlu kamu
shorthand
pakai
when I came up
kacamata?
with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later.
Bentar.
Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Now you
Kacamata
know
nggak
for
ya?
next time.
Bentar guys.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the things on the list. There are still a few
Halo
symbols that
Bang
I can't
Doni, welcome,
decipher, but
welcome.
I
Ini
don't think
kita
they're anything
mengerjakan
too
game
super important.
game apa?
Worst comes to
Game
worst, I'll
ngantuk.
just make another trip.
Aku udah pakai kacamata apa
So you're
enggak ya?
going to head back now?
Tapi nggak kelihatan kalau tulisan-tulisan.
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, want to come with me and check out the town for yourself? You said you
Halo
don't have any
Siska,
plans,
welcome,
right?
welcome.
So we can just catch a
Weh,
boat and
anjay
head
itu
over.
Siska ikut.
It won't take long at all.
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
Aku tertarik untuk lihat.
Then let's go.
Let's go kan.
We'll take a boat over.
Gaskan.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat.
Kenapa orange?
The Aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so, well, alright,
Ya,
follow
boleh.
me. I'll take you there.
Gitu guys, game ngantuk ya. Game ngantuk jadi mungkin ketiduran. Aduh aku juga ngantuk. Ya nggak apa-apa, kita harus
The
menamatkan
engineer is still doing a few routine
Genshin
safety
satu
checks.
persatu ya Allah.
We can head
banyak
out as
banget
soon as we
questnya.
get the green light.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 Aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
Clementine lah, anaknya Lee.
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson?
Kosong.
Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home. Paimon doesn't get...
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub. So there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson.
Kaget Wak.
You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The Aquabus is so convenient.
Mana
It's
guys,
really a huge
kalian ini malam
Well,
apa?
it is what it is.
Malam
You
Sabtu
know what my
guys.
father was like. Even I often
Ngapain
struggled to
kalian di
figure out what
rumah?
was going on in his head.
Atau jalan-jalan. Hal penting itu belum tentu dia doang sih yang mutusin.
But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it. From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Anjay, ini ceritain tentang
Well,
ibunya,
that
Pak.
explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just...
Siapa
Not
yang
very
cita-citanya
agreeable.
menikahi
Boss, the boat's ready.
karakter
We can head
dua
out.
dimensi?
All
Saya.
right, then let's head out.
Anjay cantik sih hari ini. Tapi aku suka Lumine sih, lebih polos. Tapi siapa ya? Yang paling cantik tuh siapa ya di ini? Anjay, akhirnya bukan buat ini. Nah, telat dah aku.
It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person?
Parah banget hari
She
ini.
totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
Parah banget hari ini.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super
Anjay,
cheerful and
bapaknya
funny.
keras,
Their
ibunya
complementary
ceria.
personalities allowed them to make
Kayak
up for each other's
Zayn.
flaws.
Anjay, nggak boleh
My
gitu.
father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all.
Dulu,
It's hard
kenapa
for me to
di-crop
piece
itu?
together a more complete or intimate picture of her. But sometimes, I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver
yeah.
once said that a name is a kind of inscription. a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning. So, I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward. Always. But no matter what, we can't change the past. But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up.
Navia. Dasar anak-anak menanggung beban. Sok kuat loh.
We've reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you.
Entahlah, gimana sih ceritanya? Relate sih Navia tuh.
Navia.
Tuh.
Do you think she's doing alright?
Enggak baik-baik kan. Dia tertimpa musibah bertubi-tubi.
Okay. Paimon supposes you're right. She's
Minimal
really been
nangis,
through a
Navia.
lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by herself.
Betul. Kalau ada apa-apa itu cerita ya guys. Aku ngomongin orang, nyuruh orang kayak gitu sendiri ya. Ini kemana? Poisson. Sana nggak sih? Di sebelah. Oh, ya.
Boss, you're back!
Welcome
Traveler
yang
in
baru datang.
Paimon!
Halo,
Welcome
halo.
back to Poisson!
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance. We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson. But since my father was known as callously unfaithful for the longest time, it would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him. But now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show their appreciation for Miss Clement.
Me?
Aku udah
I'm
lupa
just a
ceritanya.
newbie president that's running
Dulu yang
around and causing
bapaknya
everyone trouble.
mati di tangannya klorin tuh bapaknya Navia kah? Kok aku lupa
Maybe
ya?
we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
Kayaknya
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
I agree
Tired
wholeheartedly.
country.
I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol. Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to... Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready yet. Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no
Cantik
need for
banget
all
sih,
that. Let's
Navia.
decide on a design right now. Hey, you! Come over here with me.
Apa nih? Ada ubur-ubur, guys. Ngapain
Modeling a
aku?
few poses, of course.
Okay.
Here, just pretend to be Callis, and I'll be Clementine.
That's...
Didn't you say on the boat that Callis and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner.
Hah?
Flora,
Aku kan cewek,
let's
Wak.
grab
Lebih
some
pendek
reference
lagi.
shots.
You've
Salah,
got it,
ya
boss.
kalau aku pakai
I'll go get the
Ether.
camera.
Ya wes terserah deh.
Well, what do you think? Got
Aku
any
lebih pendek,
ideas?
kocak.
Well,
bagus
I've
ya.
actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. It's probably because my idea of them is already kind of set in stone.
Pakem tuh apa pakem?
So, I want to pick your brain for a bit and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Oke, memandang kejauhan bapaknya kan, pose yang gagah.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
Wah,
This
serem kali.
pose. It makes me recall Spina di Rosula's glorious golden age.
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit
Iya sih.
too bold and heroic? Was she really that kind of person?
Entah, lo
If
kata
we were to
pria.
stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist disappear.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias. You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something
Lain.
else.
Poser yang gembira, kaya, memandang kejauhan.
By that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at
Tepat
the
pose
sea?
aku pose gini.
Sure, let's give that a
Posenya.
try.
Oh enggak, salah gini.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain in their first mate.
Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every
over
tree on
there.
that island is dripping with mora fruit.
Apa sih
But
Paimon?
there's something off with the composition.
Ada
This
suka.
pose makes Mr. Callis look too tall next to the lady.
Sulit,
Oh,
sulit.
I
Saya
see
mau,
what you
Wak,
mean.
diam.
Then
Nggak
let's
boleh,
swap.
astagfirullah.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
Lucu banget.
Wait, but we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Betul.
Okay. We'll try to think of something else.
Aduh, poser yang gembira.
A
nih, gimana,
happy
Kocak?
pose? You mean something like we were laughing together at a funny joke?
Apa sih?
Would all
Jelek
that
sih.
be able to come through
Mana
with
tombol
just a picture?
skipnya nggak ada,
Would we
Kocak.
even be able to tell what they're supposed to be
Aduh,
laughing about?
ini bener-bener harus.
Yeah, and that'd probably be a
Nggak
massive
apa.
pain to sculpt as
Oh,
well.
orang Genshin fandom aja nggak ada
Can one of
skipnya
you
aja
try
masih
striking a pose
lupa
like
sama
you're talking
storynya,
while the
masih
other one
nggak
laughs?
nyimak. Apalagi ada itunya, skipnya. Kenapa masih ketawa, Kocak? Diam.
That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it. Let's try something else.
Lah kenapa malu-malu? Apa sih? Sulit.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right. Paimon's all out of brain juice now, too.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their own right. Let's just keep the ideas we tried as backups. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time.
Maaf, saya suka cowok.
Oh,
Gak
outfits!
usah aneh-aneh ya.
Oh,
Tapi
that's
aku
the
juga
errand
gitu
I
sih.
forgot back in the city.
Aku
Do
juga kalau
either of
foto
you
kudu
still
make
remember
upan
that
sih.
girl?
Kenapa
The
aku
girl I
mencari
went to
sesuatu
see with
nggak
you
tahu.
two. Her name is Adele.
Adele.
Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating.
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case, she was finally willing to talk to me, and she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too. I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as, but I got so busy and distracted
Halah,
in the
ya
city
ya maaf
that I
saya
forgot to
babu.
pick the
Kir,
uniform.
ya
Don't worry,
ya
boss.
aku ambil.
I can send someone.
On the matter of the statue,
We could have just done that from.
Oh enggak.
Yeah, you're right.
Suruh ngambil gak nih? Oh enggak, wes tumben. Tumben gak jadi babu. Yakin nih?
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Anjir, siapa yang bisa ingat
Hah?
semua karakternya, kocak?
But aren't you?
oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the fortress of Meripede?
Meropi, yang mana ya?
That's right. I
Oh,
finally
tahan.
finished serving my time. Gotta say, it
Siapa yang
turns
bisa
out I was
ingat
a lot
NPC,
tougher than I
kocak?
thought. After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar briny smell became a primal call. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time.
It's good to have you back, Coulter.
And this guy.
Let me
Oh,
introduce
belum
you.
pernah.
This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. But, looking at it now, it was probably
Kenapa
another
tak
one of
skip-skip ya,
Marcel's.
guys?
Wait, Mr.
Ngantuk,
Marcel?
Wak.
What do you mean? He was involved in some
Real.
sort of plot?
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it and didn't care to ask for any more details. Do you mean Mr. Marcel was
siapa
somehow
lagi, bocah?
involved with all that?
Terus saya lupa.
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That Kate, first things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my
Anjay.
most trusted partners,
Emang
and they've been
boleh
with me
semua
through
trusted
thick and
itu.
thin.
Anjay.
Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
Anjay.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Helper
I don't
mulu, Wak.
recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing.
Ya, hebat
But
tuh si
wait,
Paimon.
now you suddenly resist taking a dig at Paimon?
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by your side?
About that.
Meningsoy, mereka
Coulter,
meningsoy.
a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see,
Navia kenapa ya?
even Poisson isn't
Oh,
quite
pas
the same as
nolong nggak ya?
how it was before you left.
Lupa sih.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
Anjay.
What did you say?
Ah,
This isn't some kind of
Ini bukan
morbid
bercanda,
welcome
kan?
home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either.
Melissa tuh siapa ya? Aku
Many
lupa ya.
others, including Melissa, also lost their lives in the...
Malus and Melissa dead. They're just gone.
Anjay, musiknya berubah. Waduh, dramatis.
Malus. I was planning to give him a surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
Hey, keep it together.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina.
Let's sit down somewhere.
Terus, ini suruh kudu ngapain kita? Astagfirullah, cerita mulu. Mana ini nggak bisa sing-sing apa sih sebutnya? Yang kayak grapple apa itu pokok di waduh nggak bisa manjat dinding juga harus jalan bener-bener jalan tinggi nggak bisa nggak apa-apa. Thanks, sorry ya kayak apa ya ini, kayak sedih sih. Dia terlalu ceria soalnya kayak kalau dia story-nya happy-happy.
All of this. It's unbelievable. I can't...
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss.
Kejahatan Marcel.
The sheer
Marcel ini siapa sih?
depravity
Kocak
of
lupa.
Marcel's
Perlu
actions.
aku.
I thought
ya.
Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina.
Lupa.
Everything he had, the Spina
Marcel
gave to him.
Genshin, Marcel
It's unconscionable to have received all that,
Mana sih kocak?
and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve
Wait.
you for his insane research.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and distribution network.
Tapi aku nggak ingat.
We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Mana sih kocak?
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
Entahlah, lupa aku.
Romu?
Ya aku nunjukin juga kelihatan.
Not a name
kena
I've heard
lampu.
before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the aquabus lines.
Aquabus line.
Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast
Okay.
but Mr. Callas
Callas
believed
bilang
that an
peluang
opportunity to
cepat
collaborate with the court of Fontaine.
Okay.
Not only would the
Fokus
aquabus be a good business investment,
Okay.
but the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether, and the split was unexpected.
And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price.
Oh, that's a good point. If Callis was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have...
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia used to be a lot better with taking counsel.
Anjay.
With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side. But on the matter of the aquabus, even Ms. Clementine
I never knew. But from my perspective...
I think the aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve.
Bentar. Papa. Uang tidak membantu sama sekali. Relasi yang beliau bangun dengan Mbak Bisan bayar uang itu ternyata tidak membantu. Harga harus bayar. Oh, nggak paham aku.
So, they thought she had betrayed them?
Oh,
But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person, and a member of the Spina. She should have the right to take...
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt like their voices could no longer be heard. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callas began to regard the completion of the aquabus project.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
Marcel tuh yang
I've also heard that they aren't in a
Lupa
good
kocak,
financial position,
astagfirullah.
so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeu had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeu's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get revenge on us, with how distracted and vulnerable we are...
Good thinking, boss. We should keep...
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter,
tapi
thank you for telling...
Don't worry, it's nothing. I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up it. Want to come with me again, you two? You don't.
Of course.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot to...
Adele tuh yang
We
mana
really-
lagi kocak, lupa semua aku. Donatlan aja aku yang mana nih? 107 di mana nih? Ini kan? Menghadeh. Sini kan? Coba lihat ya, Allah lihat ya, harus manjat satu, stamina berkurang banyak. Wah tuh kayak surganya pemain Genshin tuh. Aduh, wes single player. Iya, aku lagi main single nih, story. Welcome Green Wing. Walau ini. Stamina. Oh ini Dea, halo Dea. Anjay, dia lagi ketemuan kah? Sama si ayam-ayam.
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip.
Walau
Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
Bentar, ada teleport nggak? Nggak ada, Wak. Harus jalan. Ada.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long
Oh,
time.
lewat air aja nggak sih? Woo. Nah, ini Wuwa could never nih, nggak ada di Wuwa kayak gini. ngebak ngelag.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my...
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, the Spina was still on the rise back
Mancing,
then.
Wak. Kemarin
Mr.
tuh loh
Callis
di
was
dekat
generous
rumahku
and
tuh ada
everyone
kolam
had the
pancing kan
chance
ya
to strike it
sama
rich. So of
sama apa?
course we all worked really hard.
Restoran gitu.
And
Isone
now, in the
ikannya
blink
udah
of an
pada
eye,
penyangi loh.
the aquabus lines have been built. Oh,
Jadi
I
ya
know.
yang mancing nggak
I was just
dapat-dapat lah
being a little
bocah.
nostalgic.
Mana itu bayar
Then
15.000
let's
lagi.
stay here a
Gile
bit
kali.
longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia's macarons? Paimon's
Tapi aku
been
pengen
dreaming
mancing.
of them.
Pengen berenang juga ya Allah wacana
Yep,
toh.
I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver. Okay. The stove's looking good. Seems like we're all out of flour and sugar.
Gula.
The two most
Kan
important
babu,
ingredients.
babu.
Oh,
Gak usah
would you?
menawarkan diri kocak.
Oh, but it would be too much to ask you to go on a trip just for
Gak
those.
usah, gak usah,
We
gak
should
usah.
contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we
Yes.
cook out in the wild all the time, so she should have some stuff on hand.
Oke.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you.
Udah ada, udah
Then I'll
ada.
go look for some boxes near...
Great. Then
Kita punya kok flower. Siapa yang nggak punya? Kok?
ah,
Tapi
how
siapa
did
yang
it
pakai bikin makaron pakai wheat tepungnya? Tepung ini apa? Wheat ini apa? Tepung gandum kah? Enggak. Tepung tahu nggak tahu? Kayak pakai tepung almond ya. Aku masak makaron lo bakal mulu ya Allah.
You've all done your part. Just
Sulit
leave the
lah.
rest to me.
Buat makaron tuh astaga.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste
Makawan yang bener guys.
magnificent. You're cooking.
Boss's baking skills have always been
Makawan.
famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how
Makaron.
exceptionally talented she is.
Oke.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us?
Enggak,
You're so
makasih,
close
Wak.
to the boss, and she
Kamu
obviously
baca aku dari
trusts you with all her
Adventurers Guild
heart.
ya.
Was it that obvious? I just thought you would be a great fit, that's all.
Ngapain stay di konten
You
kok?
just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been adventurers never
Emang
stay in
lupa
one
apa
place
emang?
for long.
Eh,
The
kamu
name
nggak
of
tahu
Spina
ya
di
ras
Rosula would just
masak.
tie them
Harus
down.
nyobain kamu masak
Besides,
makaron
after
nempel terus
everything
gak
we've been
ngembang
through
terus
together,
keras.
I'm sure our hearts
itu
would remain
banget.
intertwined even if we found ourselves
Guys,
on
aku nggak
opposite
bakal
sides
baking
of the
guys.
world.
Baking tuh skip dulu, nggak mau. Aku tidak, terima kasih. Mending
Even if
masak.
Paimon was far
Masak
beyond
itu
the
kalau
horizon,
keasinan bisa
she'd
tambah
still remember the
air, bisa
delicious
tambah yang
taste of
lain.
Navia's
Kalau
macaron.
kurang asin tinggal
I
tambahin itu.
understand now.
Kalau kue tuh
Then
sekali
I am
gagal tuh
very
nggak bakal bisa
lucky
benerin.
indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water.
Nih, toast with water. 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 Binatang kecil.
Cheers! Hey,
You know what
are
nih,
you doing?
cheers.
Quick, join
Cheers
in on the
guys.
toast.
May your travels go smoothly. May the Spina continue to grow. And may our friendship last until the end of time.
Anjay.
All set? Let's
Wes,
move
mana
out
toh?
then.
Anjir, ini mana?
I asked some old acquaintances in town.
Sabar Navia. Aduh, ya wes. Laura calon istri itu harus bisa masak. Ya tahu harus bisa masak, tapi bisa masak iya, baking enggak. Baking tuh hobi. Baking tuh kue, aku malas masak kue. Kalau masak makanan ya bisa, easy ya. Kalau ada YouTube apa yang nggak bisa sih susah zaman sekarang. Tapi kalau baking tuh astagfirullah, apa ovenku jelek ya? Tapi
Hi there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
Ya Allah, aku tuh gak apa ya?
Spina de Rosula. I
Gak
must say,
serajin
your
itu
generous
untuk
patronage is the one
melakukan
thing keeping me from going
wah,
bankrupt.
sesuai aturan.
Nonsense. We all
Aturan
know
dibuat
what a
untuk
talented
dirusak aja,
businesswoman
gak
you
boleh
are.
gitu guys, gak
No,
boleh.
and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake.
Tumben
I
aja
just
kayak
got so used
gembul.
to calling her Demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
Ih, mesti.
I
Wah,
didn't
fandom
expect
Genshin
Demoiselle
tuh.
to come and pick it up in person.
Ini kapan sih ada
It's
sih? Bentar, aku
just
sampai
a
gak bisa
uniform
kedengeran
after all.
suara. Ini
Any
kapan
of
sih
your
ada
folks could
karakter
have
yang
come instead.
gemuk, karakter yang hitam,
Navia's always
karakter yang
liked to take even
hitam sih
small
ada
things
kan
seriously.
Dehya sama Kea itu.
Hey,
Tapi kalau
that's not the only reason I'm here.
ini bukan
We mostly
fat
just
phobic
needed a
karena
walk
aku
to clear
sendiri
our
suka
heads.
gemuk ya. Tapi
There
kalau
are few
karakter
things more
yang
uplifting than
tarung
taking
gemuk
the
itu
first
ya,
step on a new
kayaknya
journey.
kalau tarung ya sulit
The
gak sih?
boss has got a point. Going on a trip
Kan
with
harus
friends is always better than
gimana ya,
staying
bodinya
cooped
fit
up at
juga
home.
kalau buat jadi
Very
warrior ya siapapun itu
Please
yang mau
wait
pegang
here while
senjata
I retrieve the
ya.
uniform for you.
Gimana ya? Ya terserah sih fandom Genshin. Menyebalkan. Serah deh.
Can someone remind Paimon again why
Apa,
Adele
Jay?
wants to join the Spina?
Deh apa Rik?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons.
Bukan
All
fat
she
phobic ya
says is
guys,
that she
karena
really
aku suka
looks up
gemuk,
to
udah
me.
diam.
After we cleared her father's name,
Tapi
she
ini
became a
talk
lot more
about
cheerful and
realistic aja.
outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a
Kayak
bad person.
Concord itu apa
She
Concord?
said she used to be terrified of Papa.
Concord apa
So,
Concord?
as a
Beda ya
result,
berotot, gak
she
tahu
found
Concord
all the
apa,
rest of
tapi
the Spina super
berotot
scary
sama
as well.
gemuk itu kayaknya
But the Spina is
gimana
very
ya
different
ya?
now.
Ini juga
She
waifu
mustered up the courage to
waifu.
talk to me,
Entah ya kalau
and
kata aku
felt
sih.
like I could really understand her.
Entahlah fandomnya gak habis pikir aku.
Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering
Main
the
game tapi
truth about the
jangan
case,
join fandom
I was
ya,
able
guys,
to
kalau
give her
ini.
closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me,
DEI
someone who
nggak
could
tahu,
lend
Wak.
a hand to others,
Saya
instead of
Google
standing
dulu.
still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of
DEI
it,
apa?
she'll be a wonderful
DEI.
addition to the Spina.
I think so
DEI
too.
Concord.
But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Iya dong. Concord is dead.
Is something
ini?
up, Traveler?
Tapi ya kamu kalau main ya gimana ya, lari aja susah Wak kalau itu. Serah deh. Gak tahu ya, itu personal opinion ya.
Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please
Ya
hold
aku
on
loh
to this
kalau
for
lari
me.
aja nggak bisa secepat itu Wak. Udah aku udah nyari
Alright.
barusan. Apalagi mereka yang butuh terbang lari. Waduh, duh.
Stop right there!
Bawa senjata gini kan berat. Apa ya? Lari. Ploen, ploen. Ya.
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk and...
Ya Allah, ya wes, lihat nih dua Arkon. Oh, ada Navia segala, gak apa.
Stabilize!
Everyone hold hands.
Right here, right now, right here. Overrule.
Mana hilang guys? Wah, tidak terlihat mana tuh tadi.
Now, talk. Who are you?
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
Dan jangan berharap kamu kabur.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
If you thought they stood any chance against us... Anyway, stop playing tough.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula.
Vengeance.
We were discovered and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Oh iya lah.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's fault.
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
Game Woke Concord. Apa itu?
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day. Too bad you guys messed up ours first.
Ahang.
Huh?
Ceritamu tidak lengkap.
You're pretty sharp. But so what? We didn't do anything. And now just seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we...
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get...
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
Ini durasinya berapa
Don't
loh?
want to inherit my father's grudges too. And moreover, when it comes to the aquabus, I don't think if the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the...
I support boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive...
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he does, then we could still have...
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't...
I'd rather things not go that far, since... though we haven't...
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, it's getting late already. So why don't we... I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Sonde again?
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poissons, we can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks, so...
Wah, jadi
Bet
pengen
you there'll be
gurame
people
bakar,
singing
Wak.
sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to...
Terus sini ke kemana lagi? Bawah. Waduh, tempat ini. Set.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always...
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? You can use the same room as last time. You so...
Yep. Kinda hard to forget.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre?
Oh, Paimon, sorry. Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way.
Mana nih, Wak? Lupa. Sini kah? Duduk dan tunggu. Duduk dan tunggu. Tanggapan lezat dan perjuangan menarik.
Hello? Are you asleep yet?
Ada apa?
Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. I knew it. Okay, let's go.
Masalahnya apa ya di sini nih? Aku bingung. Cuma tadi toh. Ibu anjay, mana nih? Ada naik turun naik. Saya mana ya? Sini sudah. Ayo semar guys. Coba enak banget cuy dengerin suara sini. Ambient soundnya bagus banget di Genshin nih.
How can you call this fishing when you're using a fully
What's the problem?
But shouldn't fishing be all about...
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, traveler? Then let's try regular rods next time.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her up.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my...
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina. My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Maloose and Silver were always there too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Maloose come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes.
Damn. Karena kalau sampai salah akan tiba waktunya kita menghadapi konsekuensi. Dan saat itu, semua yang berharga di mata kita akan langsung pasang badan di depan dan membayar harga kesalahan itu menggantikan kita. Anjay.
Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatic?
Oh, There must be something wrong with how I... We can't let it get away. Come on, you two.
You want Paimon to help too?
Aduh. Ikan demi ikan memagut. Memagut tuh apa? Memakan kah? Tapi anehnya Navia gagal mendapatkan satu ikan pun.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day.
Waduh.
We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that in...
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so
Curan.
I guess that makes it
Bahasanya
fair.
loh.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
All right, go to bed. See you tomorrow. So how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar.
Ya deh, ya.
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
Aduh.
See, this guy gets it.
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Ini siapa guys yang masih stay guys? Wah, wah daun pancing wak. What? Joran pancing apa ini? Oh ya Allah. Joran pancing kan gimana? Telah hilang guys. Poisson lagi, Poisson lagi. Aku doang kayaknya. Beratus setia kah ini? Si siapa namanya? Aku lupa ya. Iki.
Adele,
Mantuk, Wak.
we're back. We brought you a gift from the court too.
Whoa, thank you so much.
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele?
Walah,
Just
Adele tuh
Miss
bocah.
Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift.
It's been a while.
Halo, halo.
Oh, it's you two. I've heard that you also helped save all.
You're really amazing. And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too. What's in this thing?
Of course.
Oke.
Oh,
Well, it's a gift for Fute, but it's the Spina's responsibility to protect, so I turned you down then.
Oh, so that's it. Well, thank you so...
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even...
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as...
Boss!
Apa lagi?
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
Apa?
What?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. But Romeu and his folks must have... We investigated their tracks and found...
They have smartened up since we caught them red-handed.
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well,
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
they want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeu and his followers hate the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus, if they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that...
Are they insane? There's tons of
Yeah. If they've been planning this for 8, we have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople.
Let's get everyone onto our ship.
Oke,
My
oke.
dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line? If the
Siap.
explosives do go off, not
Kamu nggak
only
boleh
would the people of
meledak,
Poisson,
oke?
let's stop their insanity first. Then
Oke.
settle the score with them.
Siap.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe.
Duk, 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 duk. Kita mah bisa teleport.
Let's
ya,
go,
guys.
you two. We've
Aduh,
got to act
masih
fast.
ternyata.
Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Weh, pengkhianat kan?
Watch out, boss!
What the hell, cutscene jelek banget cuy scene-nya. Matikah, matikah, darah kah?
What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Oh. I get it now.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move. Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question. You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own, and it was all because of you,
Kenapa dia
Navia.
suka ibunya kah?
Clementine died
Tuh
because
kan?
of you. Callus died because of you. Malus and Silver died because of you.
Ya mana
And
bisa
so many
disalahin,
more
bocah.
dead. Everyone dead. All because of you.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened, and resolving to back then because of that aquabus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand, but then he died. And it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you. I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Jahat banget,
Because
Pak.
if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you. Yeah, but is that really why they support me?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia.
Shut
and my
your
mom
mouth.
loves her too. I don't know how to explain it, but I like her, and that's that.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and
Makanya.
tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop it.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the
Solo
Spina
kah ini?
di Rosula.
Yap, solo kan.
Coming at ya.
Meledak.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Meledak. Keluar. Ya.
This one's got your name on it.
Nah, itu ada.
Fire! Well,
Rosa agak kena kan gitu.
coming at ya.
Nggak enak banget. Lambat sih Claymore tuh. Aduh. Set.
Coming at ya.
Udah kan? Oh ini ya.
Attack!
Dan
That's the way.
selek lagi damage-nya, nggak usah. Aduh. Ya Allah, lihat.
Feeling lucky.
Battle-nya aku. Aduh. Wes meninggal kah? Meninggal.
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly. And don't
Okay.
I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line.
Got it, boss. I'm on it.
Danger.
Are you okay,
Ada
Navia?
ubur-ubur di atas, guys. Iya, boleh.
I don't know. But I have to go.
Nah, ini sepertinya mau tamat ini. Berapa jam sih ini game ini story-nya?
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clement. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives.
Ya iyalah, ayo let's go.
Gather! This is order.
Udah. Diam, salah pencet.
Right now, emerge.
Warna
Right here.
ini perasaan wajah kok gitu ya?
Everlasting as the moon! Transfixed!
He certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
Ini nggak apa-apa kah kalau pukul?
Emerge. Right here. Emerge.
51 basic attack. Arlea. 51.000, Wak.
These must be
Basic
the
attack.
explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism.
Itu ada
How
kuncinya
can we
sih.
go? Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff.
Tuh kan, ada kuncinya.
Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here.
Kunci.
What? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Okay, you take this
Yeah.
side, Paimon will take the other.
Oke. Mana? Cari. Nyolong duit.
Let me turn this guy over. Ugh, he's super heavy. He could probably.
Cari. Gak ada. Kenapa orang itu bawa
Oh,
loba?
you found it! That's amazing!
Kunci berbentuk aneh.
That should do it, right?
Ya.
Navia and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right.
Boleh kasih kali ya kasih. Powder.
They're gonna bury Poisson!
Hey, cewekku. Set. Waduh. Cewek cewek.
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Tembak kah? Tembak kah?
Block them all!
Look, I'm doing this the Spina way.
Fire!
Pakai payung ya, lu ketimpa boulder ya, mending soy, Wak. Pahlawannya Spina de Rosula. Lucunya. Wes kah tamat kah? Di sini tamat. Diringkus.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
Welcome.
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! You were so cool!
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time.
Kamu ngeliatnya pucat.
It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Ya, mau gimana guys?
Boss,
Tuh ada
we managed to
orang.
catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeu really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all too. We won't have to worry.
Got it.
Orang ini.
Coulter. I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more,
Sebenarnya ada nggak sih orang
I'd also
yang
like to propose some changes to the
jelasin
Aquabus routes,
ke
so
musuh
that one day
apa sih kayak
the people of
prinsipnya
Poisson
dia gitu?
will enjoy the boons it brings as
Kalau aku
well.
sih langsung pukul-pukul
I
aja.
know what you're
nggak
trying
usah
to say.
jelasin, kayak
Mr.
ngomong
Callus
tapi aku juga
would
jelasin
never have
dulu.
said anything like that. There are
Kayak
too
ngomong
many
sama
things in life
Jepang.
that are just beyond
Tapi
our
kemarin
control. In that, we are the same.
kan bukan
Henceforth,
prinsip ya, cuma
you
ya
are
tidak
no
kalah
longer
dibatasi.
a
Tapi
member of Spina di Rosula.
ini terlalu baik, Wak.
Once you're
Kayal.
discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
Loh, dimaafin. Entah ya. Tapi dia masuk, tergantung nggak sih, harusnya dia masuk yang berusaha ngehancurin
As I
atau
thought.
enggak.
Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
Gak, itu terlalu baik,
She
gak
is
percaya aku ada
also,
orang kayak
I
gitu.
must say, a truly unlucky person. Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
Diam, Paimon. Akan terbalik. Pesan.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something.
Modus kah?
And
Gak sih, kalau cewek
please,
gak modus
tell
ya,
me the
kalau aku
truth.
sih cewek.
Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
Enggak suaranya.
That's good then.
Of course.
Hearing that,
lucunya.
it brings me more relief
Suara
than I
MC
can say.
lucu, Wak. Anjay, menamatkan kah? Oh enggak, harusnya ke Poisson.
How do you
Poisson.
feel, Navia? Any better after taking...
I feel quite a bit better. But I should Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life.
Dia melembut
Do you
kali
think
hatimu.
they ever regretted the choices they made?
Enggak.
Has my existence made this world a better place?
Iya.
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss.
Arti kah?
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Oke. Poisson. Mana bahas? Teleport aja malas. Waduh, di kapal ya. Oke. Mengantuk guys, apakah kalian tidak mengantuk? Kok tumben aku ngantuk?
Right now. Emerge. Right now.
Jam 10 loh. Kalau ngomong ngantuk-ngantuk nanti main HP juga sampai tengah malam.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This
Oh,
was
patungnya
supposed to
kah?
be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you, but special times call for special measures. I've never seen you.
Do I really look that bad?
Menurut lo?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
Patungnya dia kan, bukan patung bapaknya. Oh, enggak patung bapaknya. Ibunya cantik. Oh, ada Navianya. Wih, bapaknya serem ya. Mirip sama ibunya, cantik ibunya.
This is Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be
Ntar.
honest, we decided on the
Apa?
design a long time ago. We only asked Boss to decide on a...
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great...
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place.
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone...
That's what we believe as well!
Nangis gak? Nangis gak?
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance
Wait.
to stand next to my mother.
Kayaknya harus
Not
aku ceritain
even in
template
my
dulu deh.
wildest dreams.
Gimana cara janji? Wait, tak screenshot dulu guys. Oke. Tapi spoiler gak ya? Anjay, kelar. Nah, udah di streamnya apa sih itu guys? Saya gacha dulu gak sih? Aku pasti enggak. Punya ini satu. Kita gacha apakah dapat enak Raiden atau weaponnya Kinich. Aku punya Kinich soalnya. Lah ini aja baru 4. Weapon aja dah. Siapa tahu hoki. Enggak, kita tukar ke Primo dulu. Siapa tahu hoki. Kenapa emoji menangis? Gak hoki guys, lebih sedih daripada storynya. Yang nggak ada apa-apa, nggak dapat apa-apa. Jelek lah ini juga. Coba ya, jangan diluk. Foto siapa? Aku tuh belum pernah dapat cici gitu. Jelek. Ya sudahlah. Udah habis, nggak punya itu. Baca mulu gameku. Mas nggak ada kan? Ya wes, sepertinya sudah sampai sini saja. Bagaimana ceritanya Poisson and Navia? Ambil dulu. Aku harus ngambil ini dulu. Koin hadiah. Siapa yang masih bertahan, guys? Orang-orang ini.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for completing. Ad Astra.
Perlukah aku nguli nge-grinding? Enggak sih, malas sekali. Grinding itu lama. Sekarang udah berapa menit? Hanya ya 1 jam 11 menit berarti. Ini banyak. Aku masih punya quest. Mana quest? Top up dulu kasih. Habis konten gacha. Mau top upin nggak? Aku lo udah buat Saweria ini masih ada 4. Tapi nggak tahu pakai gimana. Ini ada Chiori, Chlorine, Sijuin, Emily. Aku nggak suka Emily BTW, jadi mungkin next Chlorine. Chiori ini juga random banget, tiba-tiba penjahit ya. Mungkin habis Chlorine, Sijuin, ini. Ya besar. Sudah guys, sudah. Mau ngapain nih? Kita melihat apa? Kita melihat Arles dulu ya. Nah, oke. Extra outro-nya di sini ya, guys. Wait, tak. Melihat OBS. Oke. Terima kasih ya sudah menonton semuanya. Saya tak copot. Terima kasih semuanya sudah menonton stream saya. Ya. Jangan lupa like, subscribe, komen, share. Pamer guys. Jangan lupa like, comment, subscribe, share. Makasih ya semua sudah nonton dan setia sampai akhir, anjay. Bye bye. Thank you sarangnya. Bye bye.